Writing dialogue and such for cinematic sequences versus writing for gameplay are two very, very different beasts in a way. One thing that we try to do is in our cinematics, we only try to put like the most sort of important character moments in there. Anything that even resembles exposition, if we can possibly avoid putting into a cinematic, we do, just because it can slow scenes down, it can sort of get people to lose interest, and that stuff is much better delivered while you're on foot and like hoofing it through an environment. So a lot of the goals of gameplay dialogue, there's several goals. One is, anytime you can have like a little character moment between two characters, obviously, again, if you can do it while you're on the stick, it feels that much more important and has that much more impact. And then, of course, there's also the exposition that you can get out, which seems to be a lot easier to digest when you're in full control because you can look around, you don't feel like you're being restricted in any way, and you can convey a lot of things that way. And then there's also just player information. Sometimes it's characters reminding what the player's goal is. In Uncharted, it would be Sullivan saying, "I think we're supposed to get up to the tower," or whatever he's saying, and ways that you can sort of give the player gentle nudges and hints as you go along. So you're trying to find a balance between all of those things without making it feel too, for lack of a better word, gamey. And trying to make that feel natural is always kind of a challenge. But ultimately, you have to strike a balance between the three. But anytime, for example, in Lost Legacy, when you first arrive to the city of Halibadu and you see the giant elephants against the waterfall, Chloe and Nadine have an exchange that talks briefly about the history of the Empire, but at the same time is also conveying some of Chloe's feelings about the fact that they spent all this time and effort putting into this city, and yet there's nothing left of them. And so you get not only some exposition, but you also are getting some character beats as well between the two of them. So obviously, the more you can get the character into the exposition, and the more you can get the character into any of the other moments, the better.